I don't care what you race. It's a tragedy whenever anyone's savage like this. Just look at the poor creature. She's been beaten to the brink of death. The Fae may be strange, but they certainly don't deserve this. Peaceful Fae make up the tribe known as the Court of Summer. They are led by a king in a faraway city, hidden from mortal eyes. That's about all I know. Little more than rumors and stories from my youth. Our fate rests in the hands of a few chosen who fight in the east. You wouldn't even know it in Gorhart. We're miles away from the smoke and the screams. I've spent most of my life dealing with them, but they aren't like us. Not at the core. They don't know what it means to be a man who sweats to feed his family. Gorhart has become a sort of refuge for those settlers who wish to live a life free of Fae. I don't see that lasting. Not with the war. Not with everything changing. We keep a precarious peace with the Court of Summer, one that's tested every day. I lie awake at night worrying what kind of disaster awaits me in the morning. But we're a good community full of good people. We have our eccentrics, sure, but we work hard and live quietly. That's the best anyone can do these days. I'm the warden of Gorhart, and a poor one at that. I've been back from the war for only 6 months and been warden for less than 2. Now here I am with an injured Fae on my doorstep. I'm a disgrace. I've seen many bandit clans in the Crystal War and back home, but these men are a particular breed. They like their victims weak and bloody. The Red Legion has been a presence in the area for several weeks now. Our people are scared to show their faces after dark. I don't know what the Tuatha will be doing this far from the front lines. It must be something vital to their interests. They're a wicked breed, though, and I pity the man who meets up with them in these darkened forests. It appears she was attacked with some manner of short blade, likely a dagger, although there's no way I can be sure. People simply stood by as she called for help. No one lifted a finger. Can you imagine? It's shameful to treat another in such a way, even if she is a Fae. I don't know whether we possess the knowledge to treat such a wound. Frankly, I don't even know if I could save a mortal with such grievous wounds. It's difficult to say. We've been plagued by the Red Legion for days, but it's not their way to go after the Fae in the area. They like their targets mortal. In case you haven't heard, there have been some Tuatha sighting in the woods to the west, so that's also a possibility. It's unlikely, though. Well, you're the only one. With all the troubles we've suffered in this village, people are weary of adversity. They'd rather just ignore it. I'm going to suggest something a bit untraditional. There's a Fae named Eri. She spends her days up on the hill overlooking the village. Seek her wisdom. I would do it, but I am a coward. That's the truth. Perhaps a Fae will know how to heal a Fae. If not, then we're back where we started. She spends her days in the precipice overlooking the village. She doesn't think we're aware of her presence, but we most certainly are. Bye now.
I'm not accustomed to all of this excitement. It was difficult enough to adjust to life during wartime. Now we have to be on our guard for Tuatha right here in our own home. What is this world coming to? Truth be told, I know nothing of why the Tuatha are at war with the Alfar, nor why men fight the way they do. All I know is who picks up the pieces. The Tuatha's madness infected the Winter Court. All Fae existed peacefully for centuries, until the Tuatha got involved. It's sad. My experience is limited to Arnik Arjuna and Katrin Allway. They seem the same as any of the rest of us. Wiser, perhaps, but decent, hard-working folk. I'm hardly a scholar, but I can tell you what I know. There are two Fae factions, the gentle Court of Summer and its coarser cousin, the Court of Winter. As a child, we were told stories of their ancient rivalry. These are surely myths, but enough to scare a young girl. In the last few years, the Court of Winter has fallen, corrupted by a group of powerful Fae called the Tuatha. It's the Tuatha we fight, and the Tuatha we will defeat. I would think they were a myth if not for the Tuatha. The Fae keep far from us. Perhaps they view us as intruders in their lands. Perhaps they disapprove of our civilized ways. Perhaps they know something we don't. I fear that most of all. I was a miller's love who became a miller's wife. Now I am the wife of a soldier. My duty is to hold vigil for my beloved and for all our men on the lines. I was born and raised right here in the village. Well, not in Gorhart proper, but on a farmstead outside the village boundaries. It was a good life. Before the war, of course. It's strange. Those old birds have been perched on that hill for as long as I can remember, staring down over the rest of us in the village like hawks. I know so little about them. I don't even know their names. It's my understanding that they were once members of the Court of Winter, and Fae like any other. But something dark lured them, took them, and twisted them in its grip. Farewell.
Can't talk. Herc doesn't like loafers. I don't trust those brothers of St. Odwig's. What are they hiding behind those stone walls?
You there, do you feel nauseous, itchy? Have you noticed any blood leaking from your eye sockets? I've been noticing the symptoms everywhere. No, this situation could not be any worse. If the Red Legion is involved, then we could all be staring death in the face. What have I done? I have seen many conflicts unfold, but never have I seen one in which the fates of so many are at stake. The Tuatha will not settle for simple victory. They want total domination and will do whatever it takes to achieve it. For years I dabbled in alchemy, healing, divination and transmutation. All of that seems frivolous now, what with the war looming over us. Now I spend my sleepless nights in search of a formula that will end such conflicts forever. If you must know, my name is Nanny Henry, formerly the chief alchemist of Alistar. But you wouldn't know what that is, would you? When the scholars in the tower ordered me to leave the grounds, I took refuge here. The Almain are a private people, keen to keep to themselves, like me. Bandits, ruthless and well organized. The Red Legion is reaping many rewards by preying on vulnerable Almain settlers traveling east. Long ago, these villains confined themselves to the coast, but recently they've moved inland to avoid the war. Now they're our problem. They are the Undying, the corrupted roots. Their existence is an abomination. Everything in Amalur exists for a particular reason, except for the Tuatha. They're not meant to be. Why ask questions when you could never understand the answers? It's clear your prowess is not with wit, but with a weapon. If you must know, something of value has been stolen. An alchemical formula that, if released, could cause untold devastation. I see its symptoms everywhere. Only my apprentice, Karth, and I knew of my work on the formula, but he's gone missing as well. It was an early version, unstable and rife with potential dangers. My hope is to develop a weapon that the Alfar can bring against our common enemy, the Tuatha. To say more would be to reveal my secrets. All I can say is that it involves lesions, goiters, and a good deal of pus. His name was Karth Hilfred. I found him one morning outside my door, picking through the ember eyes. I was impressed how well he knew his way around a plant. I've never seen one so eager to learn. I do not deserve such goodwill after what I've engineered. If disaster occurs in Odorath, it will be on my head. I'm not sure where Karth may have gone, but I knew that before he came to me, he found shelter in the ancient chambers of Agnurfar Hall, an Irathi ruin east of Gorhart. Once you've ensured Karth's safety, you must learn what's happened to my formula. When you do, destroy it. It's the only way to keep us safe. The villagers believe it's haunted, but I have a feeling that's a ruse devised by the Red Legion. They mean to terrorize these people into submission, and it's working. I fear for his life. Karth was gifted in a way that I've witnessed in only a select few. If the Red Legion has him, there's no telling of how he'll be treated. He always spoke of his time as a wastrel living in the abandoned halls of Agnurfar Hall, the Irathi ruin. People say it's haunted, but people say many things. Farewell. Time is of the essence. That's never... been more true. Goodbye.
Welcome to Gorhart.
I need a drink. Don't give Nanny your business. She's mad, you know.
Hello. Welcome to Gorhart, the last settlement before the Feylands. How can I fill your pack today? The Alfar and the Tuatha have been at each other's throats for nearly a decade now. I can't remember the reason. You will find it settled on a small lake beside the Eastern Road. Compared to Gorhart, Didenhill could be called a city. The Fey are elemental creatures, magical, and it's best that you stay out of the Eastern Forest. I've seen things you can't even imagine. The road is dark and dangerous, and it's a long... Some call it the Camp of Cowards, on account of it being settled by those who refuse to enter the forest. Can you blame them? Never There's Nettie the Smith, and Nanny handles potions and remedies. The inn's across the way if you fancy a pint. Keep an eye out for the Red Legion, though. Oh, I doubt it's an organized group. More likely that it's one scared idiot with a knife. I heard someone in the village mention the Red Legion, but that can't be true. Me, widowed, going on 5 years now. All my boys were taken by the Tuatha. Both sons, my brother, and my beloved Avery. Wicked business, this war. I refuse to speak of them. Please respect my wishes. Goodbye.
Can you believe those marks?
The post in Gorhart would
What?
be an easy one if not for all the thieves.
Are you here for a weapon? Going to earn a lord's favour in this ridiculous war, are you? Troublesome creatures, the Alfar. No doubt this war is a result of their meddling in the affairs of others. We here in Gorhart are far from the front. We've seen our fair share of dead. The truth is, we have as many cemeteries as we... Look around you. These are no mere woods. This is the heart of the Feylands. What the Fey are one with this land in ways, leave the village, walk 50 paces in any... It is an Alfar stronghold in the east. And if the reports from the front are to be believed, Melsenshir is all that stands between the Tuatha and us. I intended to pledge my sword to the Alfar, to fight the blasted Tuatha. Had my helmet freshly polished, my sword sharpened to a deadly edge. Then I saw the carts headed west. They carried the corpses of the fallen, some all the way from Melsenshir. After that, my fire to fight went out. Forever. I hear their warriors die as easily as any others. I was raised to know weapons before anything else. You won't meet many women who could fashion arrow fletchings before they could speak. So long.
indoors after sundown. Believe me, the attack has me spooked. I'm not even a proper warden, just a volunteer. I'll stick to jail duty. At least there, the criminals are behind locked doors. My cousin is Herc Adwald, the village warden. You might have met him. Herc asked me to move to Gorhart to help him keep the peace. I've only been here a few days, and look what I'm up against. Red Legion, Tuatha, and bodies lying in the road. I'm off to a grand start. Our guests aren't the wickedest breed you'll find in these forests, but they're bad enough to earn a spot in my collection. Stay clear. That's an order.
Arnic Arduna isn't like other Loselfar I've met.
If you spy trouble, tell Herc Adwald. He's the warden. Come on over.
Come in. Rest your boots by the fire, and drown your worries in a flagon of our finest. I am Arnic Arduna, and this is the famous Gorhart Inn. The lifestyle of a soldier did not suit me. Unlike many of my brethren, I wish to celebrate with others, not kill them. Starting a public house seemed the logical step. Established 70 years ago by the great Alden Gorhart, this inn was the first all-main structure in all of Dalentar. I won it from him in a game of knuckles. Dida serves the finest ales, and upstairs you'll find Katrin the healer. Here's some advice. Avoid Nanny Henry. I don't know what she's brewing in her little shack. Don't you bother yourself with that. Gorhart is... We can offer you a place to rest and refresh yourself. Interested? We're here to serve. Don't worry about that, my friend. Don't let the concerns of our local warden trouble you. You're here as a guest. There is no Red Legion. And if there was, it certainly wouldn't be out here in Gorhart. We'll see you soon.
Well?
Pull up a stool, stranger. We don't have much, but what we have won't leave a hole in your pocket. Are you here about that Fey girl they found outside? New to the area? I don't recall the last time I met someone who was unfamiliar with the Alpha. There are two groups. There used to be one, but that was many years ago. The Loselfar are cool, slightly aloof. The Dogglefar, however, are very friendly, but their charm masks a mischievous nature. I must be honest, sometimes I forget who. Nothing of interest to tell. I'm just a simple farm girl from the plains of Erethel. I left home as a girl and travelled west. Found myself here in Gorhart. All I know is what that would explain the beauty of these woods. I've worked here since I was a girl. Arnik runs an honest business, and Agnar treats me like a daughter, though he doesn't say much. If you need a healer's touch, Katrin works out of a room upstairs. She's Alpha, but I wouldn't hold that against her. It's as good a place as I worry more about Nanny Henry, the vast rolling hills east of here near the coast. You should head that way if you wish to join the war effort. The Alpha need all the help they can get. I feel terrible about what happened to that girl. Gorhart used to be a nice little village. These days we're jumping at shadows. Stick around.
Times are hard, but hard times can pay if you're willing to take risks. If you have the sword and stomach for this sort of work, we could use another strong arm among the warsworn. Peaceful enough, if it's peace and quiet you like. There's a war in the east, and Dalentarth's got our own troubles with the Red Legion thieves. Some say they've seen Tuatha in these parts. Fools. I'll believe that when I see it. That's me, war-sworn since before you've been drawing breath, and Oathblade near as long. Easy now, stripling. Earn your way to Pledge Shield first. Then, in 5 or 10 years' good service, you'll make Oathblade. A name taken by some lot of scum. They're unlike any fae you've ever seen. What have you been living under? We've been at war with the Tuatha for 15 years. Fae are folk, but not more. Some may try to colour it with fancy words, but we're warriors for hire, the best in these lands. You'll find those who have taken the oath are held in the highest respect all over Amalur. Think if you must. If I'm not here, you could take your chances with Old Tyne in Shieldring Keep without my endorsement. He'll set you to work. Right then.
Hi. If you see a law stone, touch it. You won't be sorry. They're incredible.
How may I serve you? I am Katrin. Do you require my healing touch in mind, body, or both? I am unable to watch while others suffer. Too many mortals have fallen prey to the Tuatha, and I could not stomach it. So I left my home in Rathir and travelled west. There are many Almain villages just like this one, yearning for peace, crying out in pain. What good are my gifts if I cannot make what is broken whole again? The Almain were once different tribes that recently banded together to form an empire. They are formidable creatures, but new to the way of magic. I buried everything I was when I buried the forest. Those of us who live in the shadow of its canopy call Dalentarth the Feylands. The Gnome's Tower stands to the west, past Gorhart and beyond the ruins of Alistar Glade. However, no one should seek Alistar. Its secrets should be kept. Find the fair folk if you will find many Fey in Dalentarth. This has been my home ever since my love was taken by the Tuatha. I require a nominal fee only so I may eat and have a bed to call my own. The glorious Alfar city to the east is where the forces of right gather to face the Tuatha. It is an enchanting place with a long history of magic. Magic is a natural wonder no matter how you use it. The Tuatha are the exception. Their power is tainted, and it has caused a grave imbalance. Be safe.
Greetings.
Hello there. Greetings.
Nothing to see back here. Just a man working for his pay. We in Gorhart like to stay focused on our business. That way the Fae stay focused on theirs. Gorhart is an Almain settlement, so you won't find... If there was the Alfar fight without any true knowledge, those fools in that mission on the hill are wasting... Suits my needs just fine. What do you know of the Red Legion? Whatever it is, forget it. You'll be safer, wiser, and better off. Their goal is to convince the Fae of their folly. But one cannot reason with the sunrise, ask the wind to cease its chill. You should speak with them if you haven't already. They are a sorry lot, and their numbers dwindle. Men forsake their faith and disappear into the woods, or worse. I'd rather not talk about it. My past is a murky place. It's better not to enter unless you wish to get lost there.
Whatever you do, avoid the monks of St. Odwig's Perpetual. They deal in lies and false tenets. Their light of hope will leave you in shadow. If such creatures were not part of the authorities' plan, then they would not exist in nature, period. Mitharu's divine order governs all, even the Fae. It is the name I chose when I baptized myself in the clear waters of Mitharu. I have undergone the ordination rites, and am as legitimate as any monk. You don't know. It is less a mission than a fortress of deception, a citadel of lies. It throws its menacing shadow over all of Gorhart. Father Dinwell will try to defend his cause, but he is simply a soldier, marching to the orders passed down to him. None of them have minds of their own. He would be a good man if he could see past the rigidity of his faith. Mitharu embraces all, not simply those that the Church deems worthy. She was wronged by someone in this village. That is an injustice I can understand. By its appearance, you'd assume Gorhart is a pleasant place. Never make assumptions.
Welcome to St. Odwig's perpetual mission. I would invite you in, but the Order has been too trusting in the past. We try to learn from our mistakes. Although, one never knows what might be a test of faith. You have arrived just when I am in need of aid, so perhaps Mitharu is at work. The Fae are stubborn fools. They treat... I have been with the mission since its founding. These boys are like my sons. I live my life as an example of Mitharu's wishes for our kind. Frustrating, that one, stubborn to the spirit. She claims to know the will of Mitharu better than those of us who have spent a lifetime studying scripture. If only she would be touched by the hand of reason. The first bricks were laid 50 years ago by Odwig himself, before his demise at the hands of trolls. We honor him by converting the Fae to the worship of Mitharu. Alas, we have yet to convert a single one. But that does not keep us from trying. We at St. Odwig's have worked for years to establish a presence on this hill. It's not been without its challenges. The call of the Feylands does not fall upon deaf ears, and many of our youngest don't have the will to resist. Take Brother Egan, for example. 2 nights ago, Egan ventured past the walls to collect firewood and never returned. We must find him before anything happens. Oderath is a savage land. Every day we must face both the beasts of the wood and the evil of wicked hearts. I fear for Brother Egan's soul. He knows nothing of the world of Fae and Alpha, trust and temptation. He is like a baby, eyes wide at the world around him. Mitharu be praised, his order reigns supreme. Brother Egan was last seen northeast of here, just off the road near the Fae ruins. Please find him. Perhaps then we can welcome you into the fold with open arms. He is a good boy, but our youngest, and Egan often suffers from doubt. That is to be expected. One can only grow out of conflict, especially conflict of the spirit. I tried my best to comfort him and tell him that wisdom would come in time, but he is impatient, brash. He wanted a faster way to enlightenment and power. Egan was last seen in the woods outside the walls, just north of the village. Goodbye. Ugh.